Welcome back to CLIC Connect. I'm your host, Craig. Guess what? We've got an industry leader joining us today. He's rejoining us. He's one of the best people out there, and you're going to get some great information today. But before we bring him out, I would like to thank our production partner, Red Roof Franchising. If you're looking for a new brand, great alternative. You know, they're world-famous economy brands. They've got an extended stay. They've got a new prototype dual-branded property that you can get. They've just opened up a new hotel here in California. And they've also got a soft brand. So if you're looking to get a boost of that occupancy and a res system, give Matt Hostetler a call. Let him know that producer Danny and I sent you. He'd love to hear from you. So we're going to be talking about hotels and social media today. I think a lot of us are missing the bus on this. And there is no one better to bring out to talk about this than Calvin Tilokee from RevPar Media. Calvin, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Good to see you, Craig.
Good seeing you. And hey, thank you for being at CLIC 7. Means the world that you were there. I mean, we had you there. We had the Michael Jordan of hospitality, Bruce Jordan there. We had Russell of hotels there. We had Glenn Hausman there. You, me. The only one we were missing was Sarah Dandashy, but she couldn't.
Yeah.
She had another commitment. So
yeah, well, we all know Sarah's passport has quite a few stamps on it. I think hers looks like a Bible at this point, probably about this thick.
Yeah, I think
Sarah's
so.
always on the road, but it was a great conference. Great to be there. Made some great connections as well. So you definitely got what I came for. A lot of good information, a lot of great networking. So looking forward to CLIC 8.
Absolutely. Wait till you see the logo we're going to use. It's a secret right now. So, yeah. So, anyhow, my friend, you're running one of the best companies out there. You understand social media. Our friends that I just mentioned understand it as well. My feeling is a lot of the hotel ownership groups, management groups, and even the brands to a degree really don't get it. They don't understand how important it is. So, could you do me and the audience a favor and explain to them how important social media is in today's marketplace?
Absolutely. I think generally speaking, and this is my opinion, the hospitality industry, we're notoriously slow to embrace change of all forms, whether it be technology. I've been in the industry long enough to remember when Expedia was just a rumor. You know what I mean? Where it was like, hey, yeah, let's throw our last couple of rooms on Expedia. And now it's, a lot of hotels, 15, 20, even 30% of your contribution, right? So social media falls into that, where we're still kind of figuring out how important that is and how much power there is in leveraging social media as a source. Right now, we understand, everybody knows you need a website, right? You need a booking engine. People understand that you need to invest in digital marketing for those things. People understand you need to invest in email marketing, but these have been around for such a long time. And social media should be equally as important to every hotel owner, operator, and marketer out there. Over 5 billion people are active every day on at least one social media platform.
Wow.
So that tells you how many people are out there just being active on Instagram, Facebook, looking for things, finding things. And, the younger you get, the younger generation, the more information they find on social media. I'm like a Gen X / millennium, like right on the border of both.
Right.
So I'm old enough to remember pre-technology, pre-phones, where you find everything on your phone, but also spent enough of my life where that was a huge part of where you get information. But you got to remember now, a lot of these younger travelers they've only grown up in the area, in the era where it's on your phones. And this is how people find information now,
right,
of all kinds. Right or wrong, some people get their news on social media. You know what I mean? Which is a whole other conversation. But just think about how often anybody looking at this, think about how often you're on your phone. Think about how often you're carrying that device and looking at that device and getting any piece of information. Imagine now every other person around you being able to market your hotel, your property, and
Yeah.
get right to their palm. They don't need to go home and log into email or check their email or anything. They're just taking their downtime, scrolling through Instagram, and boom, your hotel is there.
Yeah.
That's the power that you have.
And it's amazing. And I'm going to make a couple of comparisons. We've got some people on the ownership side that still think the best part of technology in a room was adding an ironing board and an iron. Okay. It's changed a bit since then. Okay.
Yeah.
And, I remember, uh, you know, even ordering a high-end car way back when did not necessarily mean you were going to have a navigation system. So,
Correct.
you had a Thomas guide and you had the AAA guide. Okay. So if you were
Hmm.
going into a city to do market research, you knew where every hotel was. You knew what their rating was with AAA. You knew
Right.
what all their amenities were. And then once you got a car with with a navigation system, and all of a sudden the AAA books were on your phone, it was like, this is the neatest thing since sliced bread. Okay.
Right. Right. Right.
And you didn't have a trunk full of books. So it was a good thing. Um, Guest interaction, I think right now, more so than any other time, and I think this is going to keep sliding upward, is extremely important.
Hmm.
And creating that experience, that moment, that interaction. What do you think of having social media photo spots or areas in a hotel, a resort, a restaurant, sports entertainment venues, things of that nature? And everything that falls into all the different segments of traveling, from Smurf groups to, you know, full destination resort vacations.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's critical. But as we kind of discussed backstage before we got live here, it needs to be authentic.
Yeah.
I can give you, personal experience. I went to, everybody knows the Salt Bay, the guy from the memes, who has his restaurants. And I went to one. I went to his restaurant in New York City, and it was such a surreal experience to see how memes and how that sort of marketing became so huge. I mean, there's a huge mural of him on the wall. Every single waiter is doing the salt thing, and people are constantly on their phones. And while it was, from a marketing standpoint, it was fascinating to see how something like that came to life. It also felt a bit forced. It felt sterile. It was like, come on, guys, this is not authentic, right? Conversely, I stayed at a hotel a couple years ago near Chicago, near O'Hare. So it was an airport hotel called the Rose Hotel. I believe it's a Tapestry by Hilton product. And not too often that you remember an airport hotel fondly, right? Usually if an airport hotel stay is memorable, it's
Yeah.
probably not, for a good reason. But the hotel is amazing, and it's well designed. You come into the lobby. There was a fire pit, a nice long bar, lots of great space for people to sit and hang out. A lot of design on the walls, but it felt natural. It felt authentic. You saw this, and you naturally wanted to take your phone out and say, "Whoa, let me take a picture of this. Let me take a video of this. Let me take a picture in front of
Right.
this picture." So it has to be done in a way that's authentic and doesn't feel forced. More importantly, I know a lot of people listening may not have a sexy airport hotel, right? They may have your regular run of the mill
Right.
airport hotel, but a lot of times it doesn't need to be that visual. It could be something about the experience. I stayed at a property once where stayed with my wife for a week on vacation, and the air conditioner, there was very bright light on that unit.
Yeah.
So my wife took like a Band-Aid or something like that and covered it up so we could sleep at night. And we go to the beach, we come back the next day, and it was covered up with a piece of black tape. So whoever
Interesting.
cleaned
Yeah.
the room
Put it
noticed that,
together. Yeah.
And guess what? I posted about that on Instagram because it was like, wow, look at this attention to detail in the service
Yep.
where we didn't say anything about it. We found our own solution, but someone noticed that and
Yeah.
said, hey, we'll solve this for you. Don't worry about it, without a word. That's an
Exactly.
Instagrammable moment. Those are the kind of things that you want to be able to share.
That the authenticity. Now, I one of my favorite hotels, and it's always my boot camp or base camp, I should say, when I stay in downtown LA, is the Wayfair. Pacifica
Oh,
Hotels
yeah,
just
beautiful.
does an outstanding job at operations, the guest experience, the amenities package, food and beverage is second to none. They're one of my favorite operators. And, there's plenty of those little things. They've got their speakeasy down in the basement, and they do an event over the weekends down there called Fork and Film, and they curate a meal to a movie.
Oh, wow.
And
That's awesome.
they've and it's the Lily Rose, and it's great. And they've got an outstanding rooftop bar with some of the best food.
Yeah, I've been to the
And
rooftop. Rooftop's
you
very
know,
nice.
and the staff there are always upbeat, they're friendly, they're smiling, they're engaging, and it's just a pleasure to be there. And the first thing that I do when I get up in the morning is I go downstairs and I get the best latte in downtown Los Angeles is at the Wayfair. Um,
Right.
you want what I refer to as raving fans, and I'm a raving
Yep.
fan of that hotel.
Absolutely.
And there's plenty of authentic places to get that picture. I love their lobby. It's
The lobby's
fun, it's
beautiful.
whimsical,
Yeah.
and it looks like somebody just threw up all these books in the air and they're suspended by wires. So I've got a really good shot of me underneath it with my arms up in the air, like I'm the one who just threw all of these
Right.
books up. So,
And
it's
that's
just a
it.
place.
Something fun like that,
Yeah.
it's that you want to share, you want to take a picture of something. And it's you don't want to overthink these things either. What feels natural, what feels fun, what feels
Yeah.
like something somebody's going to want to do, right? The minute you walk into that lobby, from the design to the colors, you immediately want to take your phone out and take a picture of it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. How about consistency and quality? Let's touch on that for, you've got this beautiful hotel. I don't care if it's a boutique or a branded or a soft brand, you know, you want people engaged. You want them taking pictures. Okay. How do you, as the operations people on site, how do you help
Mhm.
with getting your guests to be consistently taking pictures and getting good quality pictures that they can, that hopefully they post with something really nice about the hotel and the team, and you can use that to, repost on Instagram or something else.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what you're referring to as user generated content, which is a great source for hotels that may not, may have a smaller budget, may not be able to do a photo shoot or things like that. What you want to do is create a unique hashtag or something like that, something that guests can attach to and post on. And now all you have to do is look up your own hashtag, and then you can filter out the ones that you like and repost those. We have partnerships with user generated content. There's tools out there that you can use where you give your guests a free gift or something, free Wi-Fi, a free drink at happy hour, something that doesn't
Yeah.
really cost a lot. And now they opt in, and once they post about your hotel and tag, that's the requirement, is that they tag the hotel either in a story, a post, or something like that. But once they do that, they get the gift. You now own the content, and you have that content that you can share. Part of what we do as well is influencer marketing. So we'll vet influencers, we'll source influencers, and find people who know how to take pictures. I mean, people who do that for a living. They know photography. They know what looks good. Find the ones that align with your brand, and the people that take quality photography, and do partnerships with those influencers. And again, requirements. Make sure that they're required to take 30, 40 photos if you're giving them a comp night or something like that. And you now again own that content, and you can use that in perpetuity. Make sure that's part of your agreement going in. Influencer marketing is that's a whole other
Yeah.
podcast that we could get into, but those are things that you want to do, and make sure that that's a very cost effective way to get great content if you're not going to invest in your own photography and photo shoots.
Well, you just opened the door, and I'm gonna,
Let's go. Yeah.
yeah, you're coming back for a part two. We're going to talk about influencer content. Because it's funny. I mean, I watch a lot of content on hotels on all the social media platforms, and some of these influencers, I really wonder what they were thinking, because it doesn't look like there's any rhyme or reason
Mhm.
as they are touring the hotel. And
Mm.
we had launched a show, and hopefully we're bringing it back. Pandemic shut it down because we were going to certain hotels and touring and doing food and beverage and everything else, and I had a crew. So it was really easy, but it opened my eyes on how you need to plan these things.
Mhm.
And you've got to have a rhythm, and you've got to have a plan in place to go through the
Absolutely.
hotel, from the arrival, somebody opening the door for you, going into the lobby, showing that off, giving a brief upbeat description, and so on and so forth. um,
Absolutely.
and I think that's another avenue that a lot of the hotel community is missing. um,
Absolutely. And I'll give me and my team a shameless plug here.
Please.
That's what separates us from a lot of the agencies out there, is we're all hoteliers. I've been
Yeah.
working in the industry 20 years. Every one of my team has worked in a hotel in some capacity. So we understand how to market a hotel
Yeah.
properly. It's going to be different than what you're describing. Just a person who travels. Hey,
Right.
I'm a fashion influencer or whatever it is, but I'm in New York or I'm in LA for a week. I need a hotel to stay. Hey, I'll give you some content in exchange for the room. But
Yeah.
they're not, I mean, I don't want to say they're not avid travelers, but they're not looking at it from the perspective of,
Exactly.
how do I promote this hotel
Yeah.
to my audience? They're just saying, hey, this is cool. This is my room. This is the pool. This is the drink I had. But how are you showcasing that hotel in a way that it's going to make your audience want to book it?
Right.
And that's what we're about, is that bottom line. My background's in revenue management, for those in the audience who don't know. So everything we do is focused on bottom line. How are we going to drive these people?
Yeah.
Great pictures and all this stuff is great, but if we're not getting them to your website to book rooms, we're wasting time. You're wasting effort. What's the point?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It is got to be a bottom line item that adds value. And I think there's and I agree with you, and I support you, and I'm telling everybody right now, give Calvin a call, because he'll come up with a great plan for you and your hotel. So it is all about that. How about the megaphones now? Everybody's got a megaphone. My 7-year-old grandson's got a megaphone. Okay. And there's brand, reputation and management that you need to worry
Mhm.
about. What do there's always somebody out there that wants to spoil the party. Okay.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, how do
Yeah.
you deal with that?
It's again, piggybacking on the point I just made about my team and our experience, is because we're hoteliers, because we've worked in customer service, we know how to speak to guests, and we view what we do on social media as an extension of the hotel. We're part of your team. That's going to be very near the top of your marketing funnel of that guest experience, right? We used to, the old adage is, front desk is the first person to interact with the guest. That hasn't been true for decades at this point, because by the time they find you on the website or social media, by the time they get to the front desk, they've already gone through a bunch of touch points. So we're very near the top of that, and our role is to present your hotel in the best way. So if someone is asking a question on a direct message about what does the room cost, how big is the room, can I bring my kids, et cetera, we need to be actively responding to that and responding to them quickly to make sure that, because that's going to be a reflection of how the hotel is perceived. If we take 3 days to respond to a simple question, they've already moved on. They're like, well, this hotel is asleep at the wheel. We might as well find another place to stay. That's kind of what the service is going to be like. If they can't respond to a quick question, then what's it going to be like when we get there? And fair or not, that's going to be the perception. So learning to manage that as well, like you said, somebody there's always on social media we call them trolls, right? There's always somebody making comments, fair or unfair, things that probably could be kept in a review or a private direct message about questions, but people will share negative experiences a lot more freely than they will share positive ones. We all know that. Again, we have a team that is well versed in customer service in hospitality, so we know how to interact with those. We know how to take those conversations off of the public feed and have a private conversation, interact and coordinate with the hotel team if there's something that we can't personally handle, if there's issues above what we can do remotely, then we have a liaison at the hotel, whether it be the GM, the front office manager, someone that we can direct that guest to get their questions answered. And sometimes, quite frankly, you just got to delete them. Sometimes, sometimes those comments don't hold any merit. Sometimes it's just trolling, and you handle those accordingly. If it's nothing that's constructive, nothing that we can help with, we take that off the feed. We're not trying to ruin the experience for everybody else that's enjoying the content and wants to stay at the hotel.
There you go. Now, speaking of content, and I've never done this before. So, Calvin, you're a first. You recently posted, and I've got it here on my phone. See, there's Calvin. All right.
That's me.
74% of travelers plan their trips based on social media posts. User-generated content receives 28% higher engagement rates than brand-generated content. Now I can take off my glasses. I've done my reading. I was floored when I saw that. Now, and again, before the show started, we were having a little bit of a conversation. And I follow all the brands. You follow all the brands. They've got huge budgets for advertising and everything else. Our franchisee friends pay that bill every month, along with their franchise fees. Or it's included in their franchise fees. Now, they've all got really good content, short form content on their YouTube channels that they don't seem to be pushing out anywhere. It just sits there on YouTube. And I've used it and reposted it on one of my social media channels. I've got one that's called Hip Chic Cool Hotels. And, we'll put it out there. It's got to be something different. And it's funny because I'll find the independent boutique hotel owner has got some really good short form content. And, put it out there and, let people see it and know that this hotel is alive and well, and you should go see it. But 72%, I feel like, bringing producer Danny in to see how often she checks out social media. Matter of fact, let's do that. Let's shock Danny and bring her out. There we go. Hey, Danny.
Love when we do this.
I knew you would.
Not even like a 10-second, countdown. Just right on the spot.
No, she'd be running out the door. So how often do you use social media to book a hotel? Do you go through it and go to an area and go, okay, I want to see all the 4 or 5 star resorts and hotels. I want to see the 2s and 3s. You looking at a lot of that content? You're the target audience now. It's not me.
I know, and I don't know if I would use social media for that. Maybe if it's specific, but like I'm planning a trip. I'm going to Europe next week. I leave, and all of the hotels that we booked, we found through Google Maps. And
where are you going? I'm going to Europe too.
I'm going to Germany and Switzerland and Prague and Austria. So that whole area.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's got a good summer vacation plan.
Yeah,
I'm staying in
London.
You guys are both going to Europe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But yeah, no, I mean, I found it through filtering on Google Maps, for 4+ stars, which ones have, which ones are close to the places we want to be. So I didn't use social media, I guess I would say. Maybe specific sites, maybe an Expedia, but it was mostly just Google Maps, which is kind of maybe odd. Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, I found a lot of the hotels that we're staying at as well. We're going to Amsterdam, and I've never been. So we, it's kind of looking at the things that we want to do, area we want to be in. Google Maps was certainly a big part of that process. As far as the post, as far as the majority of people using social media, people need to remember TripAdvisor is considered social media.
Social media,
and that's kind of the effect that it's had on the industry. The reason it does better than brand generated content is because people have a slight mistrust of the website for good reason.
Yeah.
The website is a professionally done photo shoot. It's airbrushed. It's everything, right? It's photoshopped.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's what your website's supposed to be. But the reason TripAdvisor has such a stranglehold on the customer journey is because they want to see the real picture. People want to see what you posted when you go to Europe. Craig, what are you going to post when you're at the Wayfarer, right? They want to see it from your phone because we know you're going to put your best foot forward on your website and have the, if you've got a bad view outside of that window, well, guess what? We're going to crop that out. Right now, when I stay in the room or any one of us stays in that room and we take a video, people will see, hey, that city view is really just a brick wall of the building next door. You know what I mean?
Yep.
No, it's totally true.
Yeah,
it's totally true. One of the reasons I used Google Maps was because I wanted to check out the street view to see is it on a nice street or is it a little sketchy where it's at.
Yeah.
So
and you see traveler photos there as well. And that's part of that process, right? So that's kind of the distinction between, hey, listen, we want you to and the brands to put out your own content, right? But ignoring user generated content and ignoring just really, quite frankly, having someone on property do a tour of your hotel on their phone. I do that for all my clients. It's one of the first things we'll come in and do is I'm taking my cell phone and I'm doing a tour of your lobby, your public areas and your room types. And we're going to show the audience exactly what it looks like on their phone. Because now if they look at the website and they look at that and it's pretty similar, it's like, whoa, okay, these guys are telling the truth. This really is a nice place. You want to, take back some of that stranglehold that TripAdvisor has because people go there and now TripAdvisor has gotten into the booking engine game. So once you find the hotel and you find the one you like, they can just stay there and book it. And that hotel now has to pay a commission on that, as opposed to if they know to go to your Instagram page instead and see the same information. Now they're on your Instagram page, they can go directly to your website and you're saving yourself money.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
There you go, Danny.
Right.
Thank you.
Yay, of course.
All right. Great conversation. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Calvin. Okay, absolutely. Calvin, time for the lightning round. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. Producer Danny's going to put 2 minutes on the clock.
All right.
Starting now. Favorite sport?
Soccer.
Corvette or Porsche?
Porsche. Excuse me.
Yeah, you're in California now. Porsche. Movie or play?
Movie.
Social media?
Instagram.
Writing a book?
Sure.
Streaming or cable?
Streaming.
Hotel lobby?
Fairmont, Montreux.
Ooh, beautiful. Best restaurant in the city you're living in?
Bianca, Culver City.
Wow, very nice. Favorite vacation location?
Switzerland.
That almost rhymes.
Yeah, it does. It does.
What was the answer again?
Oh, Switzerland.
Nice. You did have 58 seconds left. Congratulations.
Hey.
We might have to cut this down to a minute the next time you're on. You're too good at this. You know, you're setting records. Glenn doesn't even get them that fast. So, Calvin, what piece of advice would you give our industry and the public about social media?
Take it seriously. I think that's the key. You know, I've again been an end user. I've been a director of revenue for hotels and working with social media agencies, PR companies, and kind of being stuck in the middle where the hotel wants to push something out. Hey, let's do something on social media, but we don't have a page that can really support it. For example, I was at a hotel. We had 18,000 followers and an engagement rate of 0.1%.
How does that happen?
It happens because you're not putting out content that resonates with your audience. So, you know, if I could break it down as far as a process is understand who your audience is, understand who your travelers are, right? Get a handle on those demographics. Are they predominantly male, female? Are they driving to your city or to your location? Are they flying? Are they coming for business, leisure? These things will all help you understand who that person is that you're putting the content out there for, and your engagement rate will be reflective of that. So all of these things, you know, even just that little blurb I went through, this is just strategy and metrics, but we apply that to everything else. If we wouldn't formulate an email list that had 18,000 people and an open rate of 0.1%, you'd know something was wrong.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, we wouldn't go into that situation without understanding some of those things. You know, who are we sending these emails to? You know, are we geotagging this, etc. And for some reason, when it came to social media, it was just, hey, let's just tick a box, take it seriously, because there's so much untapped potential, aka revenue, for your hotel through a social media page that it really needs to be taken as seriously as everything else we're investing money in.
Couldn't agree more with you, my friend. How can our audience get a hold of you, Calvin, and engage you and get your services to help their property grow and add to that bottom line?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, find me on LinkedIn. I'm very active. Calvin Tilokee. Just Google the name on LinkedIn or search for the name. You can also see us on Instagram at RefParMedia. I put out some of the same tips that Craig shared earlier in the show. Those are the ways to find me. RefParMedia.com is currently under construction. You can see a bit right now about our services and what we do, but the full website is coming soon. I've got my in-house graphic designer working on a really cool site coming soon. So I'm excited just for you guys to see that. But yeah, LinkedIn is probably number one spot. Feel free to send me a direct message. We do some free audits for hotels to kind of give you an idea of where you are with your social. We do digital as well, SEO, everything in-house. And like I said, our team is all hoteliers. So we understand your needs specifically. We understand exactly what you're going through, what you need, and we're here to make it happen.
Perfect. My friend, it is always a pleasure to have you on the show. You know, you always leave us with something to think about, and you leave us smarter every time. I appreciate that.
I appreciate
You're coming back for that other discussion, though, next season. Okay.
Yeah.
We only have 2 shows left, so I want you back next season.
Let's do it. I'm actually doing a talk on influencer marketing this summer at HSMAI Commercial Strategy Week. So yeah, I'll be ready. I'll have plenty of notes, and we'll be ready to go.
I love it, my friend. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Craig.
Take care. Thank you, our audience, for joining us today. See, we've got another industry leader making a return. You know, these are great shows. Lots and lots of nuggets out there for you to digest and make some phone calls to Calvin and various other guests. Okay, they're there to help you. You know, it's about your revenue. It's about adding to that bottom line. Take this knowledge, apply it to your hotel and your team, and give Calvin a call. He can help you, okay? Hey, producer Danny and I are down to our last 2 shows of this season. Then we're going to go on a summer break, and then we'll be back. But in the meantime, please follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I should have said X. And our YouTube channel, for sure. You can also find us on the review. But going back to the YouTube channel, subscribe and smash that bell there. You can get all of our updates. I'm going to do a few live shows while we're on vacation. I'm going to be touring a new hotel at their grand opening tomorrow in Burbank, the Cambria, so that'll be coming soon. Thank you all for joining us. And remember our production partner, Red Roof Franchising. Give Matt Hostetler a call. They would love to hear from you. And I thank Matt and Red Roof for all of their support. They've been with us from the beginning. They would love to discuss, becoming a new brand for you. Great alternative. They've got their world famous economy brands. They've also got a new dual branded prototype. They've also got their extended stay, which they just opened up a new one in Northern California. And they've got a soft brand. So if you've got a smaller boutique hotel and you need some help, give Matt a call. They'd love to talk to you about the Red Collection. So thank you again for that. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much. And remember to be kind. Share your knowledge. Now go be amazing. Thank you for watching till the end of the show. If you'd like to be a guest on CLIC Connect or a production partner, please DM us on our YouTube channel at California Lodging Investment Conference. Thank you.